standing up here bashing the living shit out of Nazis. I'm standing up here bashing the living shit out of Nazis.
Brian, you're drunk. You're drunk.
Is the town drunk?
This guy's been drunk all day.
They're just getting acclimated. You know what that means, acclimated?
All right, what do you say we try to light this firework? Let's go. In honor of July 4th. Well, thank you everybody for coming back. It is a Tuesday, July 1st, 2025. Hope everybody's doing well. Thank you for coming back to Blunt Politics. I am Boston Brian. Unfortunately, not the best news to report, as I'm sure you've heard. The Senate has voted and passed, with J.D. Vance being and casting the tie-breaking vote. Trump's moldy, shitty, deplorable bill. It will now go back to the House. Just to keep everybody up on that, after a marathon session, the Senate has voted and passed again, with J.D. Vance being the tie-breaking vote. The moldy, stinky, gross, decrepit, despicable bill that they've been trying to push. So I appreciate you, everybody, joining me today. Hit the like button, share the stream. I really do appreciate it. We're keeping our fingers crossed for some good internet. Hopefully the internet gods will be on our sides today and everything goes smoothly and swimmingly. I appreciate everybody being here. Let me bring in the chat to say hi to you fabulous folks while everybody's gathering in. First off, thank you to the mods. I really do appreciate you guys. Thank you for keeping the chat safe. Thank you for making this a safe place for people to engage in their discourse. Again, without you guys showing up day in and day out, this would not be possible. Thanks again to Mel for helping with the background and the lighting, and the production and the internet and everything else. So thank you. Big shout out to Mel. I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you for all that you do. Moms, how are you? Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to move to the PC. Uh-oh, that doesn't sound good. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Let's see here. Mary, how are you? Thank you to everybody on Twitch. Make sure you guys are doing all the things that you need to do on Twitch, whether it be subscribing or following, sharing the stream out there. I would really appreciate it. Wise girl, how are you? She said, oh my God, I haven't seen the news. Doctor's appointment all morning. They passed the damn thing. Yes. And Mel was actually reading me a story. Lisa Murkowski voted yes on it. She sent me the link, so we'll see if we can get into that. Voted yes on it, but then came out saying that she hopes the House does not pass it. It makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever what people were thinking on this. Again, the U.S. government voting to strip the poorest, most needy people in this country of their food assistance, Medicare, their assistance, whether it be getting in their oxygen tanks, their wheelchairs, putting in ramps at the house so they could have access, to different areas in the house, different things like that help, the everyday working people as they age in this country. Not only that, but using that to give the wealthiest 1% in this country tax breaks and benefits. Basically off the backs of the working class in this country. So a regressive bill, to say the least. Our country moving us backwards in terms of, social policy and what benefits as terms of how well your life is and how well you're treated. It's ridiculous to think that our government is now and then right after that saying a prayer, one of the most hypocritical and useless things that I've ever seen. Senators voting to strip Americans of rights and health care and food assistance, and then immediately engaging and invoking their Lord's name in prayer is again one of the most despicable and disgraceful things. Again, what happened to separation of church and state? Did they read from the did they read from the Quran as well after they passed this? Did they have prayer time? Did they get down on their rugs and have? I don't think they did. I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say I don't think they did. But before I get off on a tangent, let me continue to say hi to the chat. Nicholas, what's up, my man? How are you? How's everybody doing? Just saying, what's going on? Thank you for being here. Elizabeth, how are you? Thank you for being here and expressing your outrage. Joanna, how are you? Thank you for being here. What do we got here? Steph, thank you so much. Tiff, as always. Terry, Forever Young, the Soulcraft. Feel free to vent away. Don't worry about it. No need to apologize for that. I think everybody is, rightly outraged and frustrated at the way, again, this government continues to act and the policies they continue to enact. Let's see here. Eileen, how are you? Wasn't it nice of Murkowski to take the blame for Collins? We'll have to read into that. Let's see here. Patui, how are you? What's going on? Appreciate you watching on Twitch. Tina, all you guys, I appreciate it. Kathleen, Joe, Pundit Puppet, appreciate it. Thank you so much. You guys are fantastic. And again, if you would like to go a step above and beyond liking and sharing and subscribing, which are the free aspects of this whole thing, you can become a channel member. There is a button just underneath me where you can do so at a cost of about $2.99 a month. It goes a really long way in helping this channel grow, in sustaining our programming here, and as an independent media outlet, or as an independent media figure, or whatever you want to call it, I rely solely upon you. I have no ad revenue. I have no things that I'm selling you. I have nothing hidden behind a paywall. The only things that I ask are, maybe a Venmo here and there, if you'd like to become a channel member, and our Patreon at patreon.com/BostonBrian, in which is for as little as $5 a month, you can become a Patreon member there. And that gets you access into our monthly Zooms, which are a great way to just, get a little bit more face-to-face time with you guys and your pets and your homes, and see and talk to you guys a little bit more intimately, so I can put faces to the screen names. But it's a great way for me to get to know you guys, and it's a great way for you guys to help this channel. So I really appreciate those that are signed up, and I really, appreciate those who are thinking about it or who will in the future. So thank you for keeping me going. Thank you for keeping the food in my mouth now that this is a full-time, right? I put my neck on the line because I felt I was in a position to trust you amazing people in the fight that you have and the passion that you have for your country, in making the politics of this country better fit for the average American working people of this country. So I appreciate it. Thank you for your fight, and thank you for your passion. Let's see here. But yeah, lots to get into. We're going to obviously be talking about the updates here. Let me see if I can get you in here and show you a little bit of what I'm talking about. Let me know what you guys think of the lighting. We're kind of playing around with some different options and new lighting. I kind of dig it. Mel did a fantastic job of setting this place up. But yeah, let me see if I can show this to you right now. This is just a little bit of ABC's coverage of the passing of the bill. I'll just show it like this, just so it's a little bigger so you guys can see it. We'll just kind of dig into it. I think this is kind of short. Let me see if I can play this for you. Hopefully this doesn't lag or slow down too much, but let me know if it's okay. Let me know if you guys can hear it. Let me know if the video is okay. Keep me updated, please.
On this vote, the yeas are 50, the nays are 50. The Senate being evenly divided, the vice president votes in the affirmative. The bill as amended is passed.
So there you have it. The so-called big, beautiful bill is now past the Senate floor. As close as it gets, a 50-50 vote here with Vice President J.D. Vance casting that tie-breaking vote. I want to bring in Jay O'Brien, who's there on Capitol Hill. Jay, you heard the Vice President there say, as amended. The bill as amended has passed.
Now, just programming note, it's amazing to me that I can still look dark somehow. I mean, I'm in a small space. I have about 45 fucking lights in my face. And somehow I can still come out dark. Let me see here. Let's see if I can fucking give me a second. I kind of like the dark look, but I also want you to be able to see my face and stuff would be great. So I'm not so much minding the background being dark, not to get too deep into this on stream, but let me just see if I can add the brightness, turn the brightness up just a bit for you guys. Let me know if that helps a little bit. I'll go up like that. How's that? That's as far as that's as far as I'll go. Let me know if that helps or hurts or doesn't do anything. I appreciate your input. Thank you for letting me know how it looks. Again, like I said, we're just kind of playing around with some options. I like it. We'll fine tune on where the lights are supposed to be. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Let's get back into this.
They've just gone through this more than 24-hour vote-a-rama, presenting and voting on a number of different amendments here. So what does this bill look like compared to the House version, and what kind of hurdles does it now face going to the House?
Yeah, Diane, just very quickly, the vote count here, we did have 3 Republican senators vote against this, and it's why J.D. Vance had to come in and break the tie. They are Susan Collins of Maine. We expected her to vote against this. She has serious issues with the Medicaid cuts in this bill and also the cuts to SNAP food assistance. Also, Tom Tillis, who you had heard about yesterday and over the weekend, who had his own issues with the Medicaid cuts in this bill, and Rand Paul, who had fiscal issues with this bill and the fact that it raises the debt ceiling. So those were the 3 Republican no votes. But one notable Republican who voted yes was Lisa Murkowski of Alaska. And when you talk about those backroom deals, passage of this bill at the 11th hour here, after more than 26 hours of a vote-a-rama, really hinged on backroom deals, and most especially a deal with Lisa Murkowski. And while we're still trying to work out the details here, what Lisa Murkowski sought was a kind of a carve-out, was a kind of exception for Alaska, particularly on those SNAP cuts.
Yeah, I guess this is probably a good time for me to bring up what Mel was talking about in her statements on this. Let me see if I can bring up that article she sent me here. Share this tab instead. Make it like this. So this is this one. Lisa Murkowski says it was agonizing to vote for the mega bill. Then why the hell did you do it? The Alaska senator slammed the brakes on the legislation overnight, but ultimately voted to advance it after winning key concessions for her state. Senator Lisa Murkowski made the agonizing, quote, agonizing decision to vote against the better interests of the American public, the American people, and millions of people that will now lose not only health care benefits, but also, access to food aid and different programs like that. Not only that, but a tax. It would also cost the poorest Americans money, and as far as the tax cuts, while giving the richest Americans tax breaks. Again, did I get everything I wanted? Absolutely not. She said Murkowski told reporters, but Murkowski touted changes she secured to the Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program that will allow for, quote, greater flexibility for Alaska and extra support for rural hospitals that is, quote, going to be very key, end quote. Senate Republicans also removed the controversial tax on solar and wind energy projects, a change Murkowski had pushed for. So she also wanted to see President Trump's 2017 tax cuts extended. I had to look on balance because my people in my state are the ones that I put first, end quote. Murkowski said, we do not have a perfect bill by any stretch of the imagination, which is the understatement of the fucking century. My hope is that the House is going to look at this and recognize that we are not there yet. So in other words, she voted on this because of the concessions that she got for her state regardless of the ultimate dangers posed by this bill passing. But then in hopes that the House would now recognize that the bill isn't quite ready or done or there yet, and therefore not send this legislation to Donald Trump's desk. Like, tell me how that makes sense in any fucking realm or in any universe. Like, because you got small concessions doing specifically and particularly to do with your state, even though on the broader picture, on the whole, in other writings in this bill, this strips away healthcare access to millions and millions of Americans, and now adds cost on to millions and millions of Americans while adding revenue to the richest Americans. And somehow you're going to vote yes on that in hopes that the House is all of a sudden going to grow a spine, grow a backbone, grow a brain, and be like, you know what? You're right, Lisa. You're right, Lisa. Now that you voted yes on this, we're actually going to take a second look at this because none of this makes sense. Stripping healthcare from Americans doesn't make sense. Stripping rights and access to fucking food programs for the poorest Americans, all so that we can give the richest Americans in this country breaks and monetary relief, does not make sense. You think Lisa thinks that the House is all of a sudden going to think this. They're all of a sudden going to come to their senses because she voted yes on this? Or is she just hoping that they see this fucking Politico article where she expresses like some concern in her agonizing vote? Give me a fucking break. Give me a fucking break. Hey, everybody. How are you? Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Hey, Tanya. How are you? What's going on? Dawn. Thank you, guys. Dr. Cocainium. Appreciate it. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, share, follow. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. We're just kind of going over the hypocrisy of Lisa Murkowski's vote due to the concessions she received, I guess, on controversial tax on solar and wind energy projects was enough to get Lisa Murkowski to flip on what she called she just kind of slammed it overnight. But I guess tax breaks on solar and energy products was enough to get her to completely flip and actually vote yes on this, ultimately leading to this bill passing because, like I said, the 50-50 vote with J.D. Vance, the vice president, being the tie-breaking and casting the tie-breaking vote to make it a 51-50, which, again, just a great number. A lot of these people should be 51-50, if you ask me. Hashtag 51-50. But yeah, I mean, again, the hypocrisy, and again, I highlighted here where she says, she hopes that the House says they're going to recognize that we're not there yet, right? Murkowski said she's urged both the White House and Top Hill Republicans to send the bill to conference rather than ramming it back through the House this week, and slammed the, quote, artificial, end quote, timeline Trump and GOP leaders had set of speeding the bill up to his desk by July 4th. Quote, I've urged the White House that I think that more process is needed to this bill because I would like to see a better outcome for the people of this country, says Lisa fucking Murkowski after her yes vote on Trump's moldy, shitty, disgusting bill. Now, did anybody make heads or tails of that in the chat? Am I the only one that is kind of dumbfounded at that whole process? Like how little she got in return for basically, voting yes on the federal government bitch slapping the poorest people in this country. And she got some tax breaks on wind and solar projects in Alaska and maybe a few other things. And that was enough to buy out Lisa Murkowski's vote in this. But also she doesn't want it to pass the, again, we, woohoo, yee.
Go fuck yourself.
Okay. I mean, we really do need a different way of picking politicians, I think, in this country. How we could end up voting for people that ultimately get power under their belts get access to classified information, get access to, deals with corporations and laws that are in bills in which they can then use to play the stock market to their advantage, thus knowing who is going to get, federal assistance and what programs are going to help what companies and what aspects, of the stock market. We've seen it over and over and over again, and with politicians coming in with, a net worth of fucking 150,000, leaving with 150 million. It just, how we could just ultimately have people that would get in there and, for the purposes of money and power, vote against the self-interest of not only themselves, maybe not themselves, because at their financial, at their financial heights, they're probably also or definitely benefiting from these tax breaks as well. So that's another thing. We have people in there with net worths that are benefiting from the actual tax breaks that are being hoisted and given to the richest people in this country, but also are trying to seemingly be out there fighting against these tax breaks that would help them. I don't know. There's a lot of shady, as that report said here, backroom deals, fucking handouts, promises, ass kissing, baby exchanges that happens that we don't even ever get to see. Because now to us, it just looks absolutely asinine and ridiculous that overnight Lisa Murkowski would be slamming this bill. But because of some tax breaks on wind and solar, that was enough to push her over the line and completely change her stance 180 degrees to get her to cast a yes vote for this. But then still have enough, questions about it to say that she hopes the House does not ram this through and give it to Donald Trump to sign because they're not there yet. I don't know. I can't make, I don't know, as a political commentator, how to even give you the ins and outs of that, or what it takes mentally, psychologically for that to happen, that reversal to happen. I mean, is it 100% greed and power, and maybe is she benefiting potentially from said wind and solar tax breaks? I don't know, but it just makes it all the more difficult for us to make heads or tails of this when you see people voting against their own interests, voting against their constituents' best interests, but then come out and say that they still have major questions about the bill that they were slamming overnight. Makes sense. It doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. If you guys can tell me, explain it to me in the chat, please let me know. Drop a comment, drop some emojis in the chat if that would help get the message across. I don't know. You guys let me know. But let's finish this video out.
There was a provision in the bill that would require states to pay more for their SNAP food assistance benefits, depending on the payment error rate in their various states. And there are a lot of states with a high payment error rate above 6%, which was the threshold. But Alaska has the highest payment error rate, upwards of 24%. All of it is technical, but here's the thing. Under this bill, prior to this deal, Alaska would have to have chipped in a lot to pay for food assistance in its state. And what we see now is that Lisa Murkowski appears to have gotten some kind of carve out for her state on work requirements and other SNAP issues that protects them from having to pay more. So what we really saw Republicans do at the 11th hour here.
Wait a minute. So it protects them. She's talking about them being the state of Alaska federally to pay for these SNAP benefits. Is that what he was just trying to explain there? Hey, let me go back.
Was the threshold, but Alaska has the highest payment error rate, upwards of 24%. All of it is technical, but here's the thing. Under this bill, prior to this deal, Alaska would have to have chipped in a lot to pay for food assistance in its state. And what we see now is that Lisa Murkowski appears to have gotten some kind of carve out for her state on work requirements and other SNAP issues that protects them from having to pay more. So what we really saw Republicans
So again, it's crazy to hear them talking about protecting the state as opposed to protecting the benefits. I mean, again, I don't know the ins and outs of the carve-outs that she got as it pertains to this specific issue, but to hear that there was carve-outs needed, from what I'm getting from what this reporter is now telling us, to give Alaska a break as far as contributing and having to pay for SNAP benefits for its constituents, instead of protecting the rights of its constituents to said SNAP benefits. You see the difference in what's going on? So trying to save the state money federally as opposed to making sure that whatever it takes, their constituents and her constituents of Alaska are guaranteed those SNAP benefits. Now, if I'm reading into that wrong, I'm sure there'll be more reporting on it to come. But if I'm reading into that wrong, maybe it's already out there. Please let me know in the chat.
Republicans do at the 11th hour here was make a carve out largely for Lisa Murkowski, although it likely will apply to some other states, but largely for Lisa Murkowski on SNAP payments to get her to flip from a holdout to a yes.
And Jay, talk about the political pressure surrounding this vote. On the one hand, you have President Trump, who was calling up some of these senators, speaking to them directly, threatening to back primary candidates against them the next time they run for re-election. And then you have Elon Musk now also rejoining the debate, saying that he will fund opponents for anyone who votes to support the bill. And overall, you have a lot of people in the Republican Party who ran on platforms of being fiscally conservative.
Yeah, that's when, again, that's another thing that people were taking a look at, is Elon Musk again coming out as he has been against this bill. And when for some reason on any issue you have to and are forced to be on the same side as Elon Musk, it's never a good thing. And for the Republicans and for people that voted for this bill, when somehow Elon Musk has more reason, regardless of what the motives behind those reasons are, as far as what the destruction of this bill will do, then you have a serious problem. Serious problem.
Yeah, and the Elon Musk factor didn't move the needle much in the Senate, but it is going to be a live ball in the House, because remember, we are not done with this bill yet. Now that it is cleared through the Senate, albeit by that slim margin, the vice president having to come in and break the tie, it goes back to the House, where this bill, because of some attendance issues not long ago, a little over a month ago, passed out of that chamber by just one vote. And we have already heard from more than a dozen House Republicans, including the ultra-conservative House Freedom Caucus, who say they don't like the way that this bill was changed in the Senate. And in particular, they don't like the fact that the Congressional Budget Office estimates that this bill will add an estimated $3.3 trillion more to the federal deficit than the House version was supposed to. The House, this is an extra $1 trillion more add to the deficit, the CBO says, than the House bill was estimated to do. And so
from the party of fiscal responsibility, folks, from the party of small government, from the party of lower Pentagon spending. How's that gone so far? Cenk Uygur, you want to report on that? Maybe that's something you could report upon, is the hypocrisies of these people that you've been lending your hand out to and having a beer with. Because obviously they don't care about fiscal responsibility. Clearly they don't care about the debt or deficit. They don't care about when they talk about, how are the kids and my grandkids and their kids going to pay for this? We're just stacking the debt upon their shoulders. Bullshit. You don't give a shit about that, because I don't hear anybody on the other side chirping about what this is going to do to the deficit, chirping about what this is going to do to millions of Americans, the lowest fucking and poorest Americans. The lowest earning income Americans. I don't hear them chirping about that. I hear them praising this bill. I hear them praising and lauding Donald Trump for stripping millions of Americans in the Senate, and Lisa Murkowski for stripping millions of Americans of their rights and benefits.
number of fiscal hawk Republicans in the House who take serious issue with that number. They are pushing for Speaker Johnson to slow down here, not try to bring this to a vote by Friday. We're also hearing messaging from some moderate House Republicans as well to that effect, who don't like, for instance, the Medicaid cuts in this bill and the changes that were made to that effect in the Senate. And so the question facing Speaker Johnson here is, does he still commit to that July 4th deadline? Does he try to hurdle to a vote here in the House by Friday, try to get this passed and on the president's desk by Friday? Or does he kind of bend to the pressure that we're seeing, particularly from his right flank, and try to slow this process down? And by the way, that was even more complicated today,
Let's
Diane.
see if this article here. I'm kind of curious to learn more about these carve-outs. Maybe this gives a little bit more. See, a GOP special side deal to buy key senators' health care vote. Republicans have had trouble convincing Lisa Murkowski to support their repeal bill, so they're trying something different, a brazen payoff scheme. Let's get into this, huh? What do you say we get into this a little bit? The future of healthcare, the American healthcare system may rest of Senator Lisa Murkowski's shoulders. With only a week remaining, no one can say with confidence what Alaska Republican is going to do. So this is, what is going on here? Is this from years ago? I don't want to be. Oh yeah, that's years ago. Jesus Christ, I almost went deep into that. I thought I had something there. But this says July 1st, 2025. Why would they show something from years ago? Maybe that picture was from years ago? I don't want to give you guys false reporting here. So this is from Steve Bannon, July 1st, 2025, 10:43 Pacific time. These are the proposed carve-outs and schemes. Brings me to this page, right? Senator Lisa Murkowski. But this says September. Maybe this is just... Anybody know? Anybody know? Are we looking at the right thing here? Let's just read it. Maybe we can figure it out. Future, I can tell. It sounds like it's talking about this one. On paper, question seems fairly easy to answer. Not only did Murkowski's oppose previous GOP repeal efforts, but her home state of Alaska would be one of the nation's biggest losers if Republican plan were approved and implemented. Common sense suggests she's a likely no vote. What if Republicans changed their plan to shield Alaska from GOP's imposed punishments? Politico had this report late yesterday, which rattled the political world quite a bit. Quote, the Senate's Obamacare repeal bill may protect Alaska up to 4 other sparsely populated states from major cuts to Medicaid through 2026. A potential boon to the home of pivotal GOP swing vote Senator Lisa Murkowski. The plan from Lindsey Graham and Bill Cassidy allows a limited number of states to opt out of its new Medicaid financing system, which would give states set sums to run their programs and do away with the open-ended entitlement that exists today. The Alaska scheme received quite a few unflattering nicknames: Alaska Purchase, Klondike Kickback, Polar Payoff. Is this? Oh, I'm going to go back to you guys. This is about this one, right? Mods, you guys always know better than I do. I just want to make sure we're speaking about the correct thing, because the date here just threw me off when I saw it. That could just very well be talking about referencing the picture, but I just want to be 100% positive with you guys. Yes, we'll be talking about Alligator Auschwitz, Jesse, in just a little bit too. So make sure you stay tuned for that. No worries, Mozart. Take your time. No worries, my friend. I'm listening and have to drive and watch on the road. Sorry, I'm just kind of waiting to see when the chat catches up. I just want to make sure. I'm talking about the right subject, and I do believe it is, considering the reporting is from today. So I can't see why they'd put anything in there from 2017, nor would that make any sense anyway. So let's continue reading, just in case. Whatever you're inclined to call it, the underlying idea appears to be a straightforward pitch to Murkowski. If she'll vote with her party to repeal Obamacare, Republicans will let Alaska keep Obamacare. The irony of such a move, of course, appears to be lost on the idea's proponents. There's a lot to this development, so let's take various elements one at a time. One, through the reports. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, my apologies. One, through the reports, this attempted payoff have not yet been confirmed. Senate Bill Cassidy, the lead architect of the Graham-Cassidy plan, didn't exactly deny the report's accuracy. His spokesperson only said that, quote, no exchanges of any kind have been finalized. As recently as June, Senator Lindsey Graham, the other half of Graham-Cassidy, clearly, said that the efforts to buy senators' votes with side deals are, quote, crap. And if his party started going down this road, quote, they're going to lose me. Perhaps he changed his mind. In July, there was related chatter about Republicans trying to effectively bribe Murkowski with a special side deal for Alaska, and at the same time said she wasn't interested. Quote, let's just say they do something that's so Alaska specific just to, quote, get me, Murkowski said at the time, then you'll have a nationwide system that doesn't work, that then come crashing down, and Alaska is not able to kind of keep it together on its own. If she hasn't changed her mind, this new gambit will fail. So this is basically, I'm assuming this is clicking back to an article from about a week ago, as far as this is concerned, because this says with only a week remaining, no one can say with confidence what Alaska Republican senator is going to do. So that's my first clue into that. But you know, we can obviously read further into this as far as what she ended up doing. You know what I mean? What she did do. What happened? What? My browser has lost connection to my camera. You may have the right. Make sure you have the right camera selected. Why the hell would that happen? Okay. Alrighty. Let me see if I can switch off. Switch back to it. I'm a bit confused, ladies and gentlemen. A bit confused. Going on? I'll be right with you. I promise. I do promise. I promise this. Audio is fine. Camera is on the right camera. I see the light on the camera, but no camera. Okie dokie. Just a second, ladies and gentlemen. I shall be right with you. Let me take myself off the screen. I don't understand, ladies and gentlemen. I just really don't. Says microphone hooked up, microphone access on, camera on. Oh, it just never fails. Never fails. Just when you think everything's going all right. Just a moment, ladies and gentlemen. Just a moment. Okay. That's back. Start cam. Start cam. Wow. Okay. All right. This makes no sense to me. I don't understand what I'm I'm clicking away furiously in the background, guys. Hopefully you can at least hear what I'm saying. That would be fantastic. Help! SOS! SOS! I don't know. I don't. The camera is on. I can see the light on the camera is on, ladies and gentlemen. It is on. All right. So what I'm going to have to do, considering a live stream only works, if you can go live with video, is I'll just try to restart the server. It should allow me to come back in. A whole lot of funky going on. If not, see if you can keep your eye out for maybe a new stream, but it should allow me to come back into. Yeah, everything's working. Everything's up. Volume's up. Volume's good on this.
I don't know if it matters to you, but when you put up full screen of the other thing without your camera, the sound is gone. But when you put the little thing, even though you're not showing,
Yeah.
the sound is there. But as soon as you take that away and the full screen, it just whatever that website is, there's no.
Thank you.
Yes, get your shit together.
Everything, ladies and gentlemen, I don't understand, Captain. All right, I'll be right back. I shall be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Good grief. Changes you made may not be saved. All right. I don't understand. I don't. My browser cannot access my devices for some reason. I restarted the computer. I don't even know if you can hear me. I don't know what's going on. It even keeps disconnecting my microphone. So I don't know. I don't know how that works. It's just never easy. It's just never easy. I can end it.
Oh, why don't you maybe start a new one? Doesn't seem like it's gonna get fixed.
I just feel bad. Yeah, no, I can. I know you can hear me because it keeps kicking me off of my microphone access as well. All right, Tiff. Yeah, I got you. All right, I'll see if I can try again. I don't know. I just, like I said, I just restarted the entire computer and tried it again. So I don't know what else I can do above and beyond that. But let me try it again. All right, I'll end this one. Sorry, guys. My apologies.
Ooh.